State. They're the reigning defending champions right there. Let me just say that. Will LeBron repeat? I would tell you he's the favorite, but I got kind of scared for him watching Kyrie, KD, and James Harden last night. I must confess that. I got kind of scared for LeBron and whether or not he's going to repeat with that offensive juggernaut in Brooklyn. It remains to be seen. At this moment in time, the Lakers are the favorite, as they should be.
I'm not scared about the Nets for this year for LeBron. Next year, maybe. I mean, I think they're going to have to get to be a much, much better defensive team to take out the Lakers. I'll say this. LeBron James's Lakers, LeBron and AD's Lakers, are the only team in the NBA that are all three of these things. Absolutely elite offensively, absolutely elite defensively, and can be trusted on in the big moments, They have all three of those things, and they're the only team like that. They're going to repeat as champions.
Okay, last one here, guys. This is from Anastasia Morrison, a member of the Rams softball team. Anastasia?
My question for you, Stephen A. Smith, is do you think Steph Curry will be able to take the Warriors back to the NBA Finals?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
I got it.
Yes, and more yes. The greatest shooter ever seen in the human race, the greatest shooter in all of mankind, Steph Curry. Once he gets Klay Thompson back, a top 5 shooter ever in the game as far as I'm concerned, yes, the Golden State Warriors, before all is said and done, will not only get back to the NBA Finals eventually, they will win another championship, probably a couple of more. If LeBron's got 4 going for 5, Jordan's got 6, Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, had 5, I think Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and the crew are going for 5 championships. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I definitely expect them to win at least 1, probably 2, eventually.
I think it's possible that they win another championship. In fact, I bet money on it. They're good. They're not done winning. They're going to win 1 more championship. They have a great front office. Steph Curry is an all-time great. Klay Thompson, as you mentioned, Stephen A., is one of the greatest shooters in history, and when he's healthy, a great two-way player. Draymond Green has revolutionized the game along with Steph as much as anyone other than Steph. I think they got 1 more in them. I'll just remind everyone, they were lucky to win 1 before KD got there.
Whatever.
They were lucky to get by LeBron 1 time because Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt. And they still went 6 games. They were lucky.
And I remind
Stephen
you of
A.,
this, man.
They got 1 more in them, not more.
I remind you of this. James Wiseman is only a rookie. This brother playing in the middle alongside Draymond Green, he is no Andrew Bogut or Jaja Pajulia. James Wiseman is a different animal. And when he is there, shooting 40% from three-point range, by the way, when he's there with Draymond and the crew,
told me he could shoot the three.
You got Steph and Klay, yes, they can win. Yes.
All right, I want to stay with this subject.
Wiseman hitting shots.
Of the NBA fellas, but I just quickly want to say thank you to everyone, James Dunn, Antoine Lewis, for making this happen today, our HBCU tour. Stephen A., I understand why you love your university so much. I mean, the elements, the messages they sent, it's so heartfelt, and I know you're giving back just as much, but the students and the step team and the marching band, it really made today's show special. So thank you, Winston-Salem State. And I want to close out the show with the topic I asked you guys off the top, and that's the Brooklyn Nets and what they did last night, right? Harden, KD, both put up 20+. Kyrie putting on a show. He put up 39. Stephen A., I'll ask you this. This version of the Brooklyn Nets, who we saw last night, can they win the chip this year, even with their lack of defense?
Yes, they can. If you're using last night as the litmus test, the kind of offensive show that Harden, Durant, and Kyrie put on. If they played like that, and I'm not saying they would against the Lakers, because that's my question mark. But if they played like that, nobody can beat them. Nobody can beat them if they can play offense like that, because I think their defense just going to get better with familiarity. Not much better, but I think it'll get a little better in the second half. They played some good defense, and I saw Kawhi Max trying to push Harden down. We forget how strong James Harden is. Couldn't push him and back him down in the fourth quarter the way Kawhi tried to. And Kawhi is obviously a pretty strong guy. I just think that Kyrie is an absolute showstopper. He's box office. Kevin Durant, to me, let me tell you something. He's a superstar. He's a top 2 player on the planet. I think number 1, when he gets completely healthy and he's playing more defense, I think he's number 1. And James Harden, the unselfishness. He's reminding us he was a point guard in OKC. He will distribute the basketball. He's not selfish. He will give you the ball. Those things taken into consideration, I got to tell you something. I don't think anybody can stop the Nets offensively. I really, really don't.
Nets cannot beat the Lakers in a best-of-7 as currently constructed, as presently constituted. And last night's game included, Stephen A., even if we're only looking at that game. Now, if you want to say, could the Nets win a tournament? Yeah. If it was one and done, Nets could beat anyone on any given night. You can say that about a lot of NBA teams, but especially the Nets, because they're going to be the best offensive team of all time. They're going, and since the Harden trade, that's statistically what they already are. They haven't even figured it out yet. And Kevin Durant, what's impressed me the most, coming off an Achilles, is he chose Brooklyn. Okay, I'm not going to join a 73-win super team. I hear the criticism. I'm going to forge my own path. He chose Brooklyn and was going to build the team around him. And just like that, they're a powerhouse. And off an Achilles, this man is not only playing great, amazingly efficient offensive basketball, all-time great, but he is choosing to guard the best perimeter player on the other team every single night. So my hat's off to him. And Kyrie, you mentioned, I say Kyrie's the best show in the NBA. And I totally agree, and you know I've said this for a long time. My beef with Harden is he doesn't hit clutch shots in the playoffs. He is an unselfish player. He's always done what his team has needed him to do. If it's take a million shots, he'll do that. If it's do what he's doing now, he'll do that. Be more of a playmaker and help his teammates, he'll do that. So they're outstanding offensively. They will not be able to beat the Lakers in a best-of-7 with this defensive unit. They just won't be able to do it. I don't see a way. They can score. They'll be the greatest scoring team of all time. They can't stop a nosebleed, and the Lakers can score.
Let me tell you something. The Lakers can score. The Lakers should be the favorites. We both have them as the favorites. Let's not get it confused. But what the Brooklyn Nets will force you to do is make shots, because the Lakers can clamp down on everybody else. Max, can you really see them clamping down on Brooklyn? No, you're going to have to outscore them, which means you're going to have to make sure you make shots. See, that's the difference here. And I think that they can make things tight. That's why I don't think anybody in the East is going to be able to beat them. I think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and others, and obviously Schrader and others, they're going to be called upon to step up and make shots against Brooklyn, because Brooklyn is going to make their share of shots. And in terms of Kevin Durant, this has an opportunity, as you pointed out, in fairness to you, Max, to be the greatest year of Kevin Durant's career. Because with Steve Nash being a coach, Steve Nash being a coach, he's a rookie coach. He's never coached on any level. Mike D'Antoni, we know that he don't care about defense. If you sit up there and you understand that that's the climate you created, you hone in Kyrie Irving. James Harden is playing alongside you. Kyrie Irving is being selfless. James Harden, obviously, is being that point guard and incredibly selfless. It all comes under the umbrella of Kevin Durant's leadership. Everything is on him. And if this team ends up winning the chip, he will deserve about as much credit as LeBron has earned when he got at Cleveland to the championship. You know, and the Lakers, obviously, to a lesser degree. That's what Kevin Durant is doing here. He's got a chance.
He has a chance to prove his greatness in a way he's never done before, and to elevate himself so that when people talk about the greatest of all time, and LeBron's always mentioned nowadays ahead of Kobe and Magic and Bird, KD is mentioned along with those guys by everybody. He has a chance to do that. I'll caution one thing. I mentioned it earlier in the show. That was a Clippers team who had played 5 games in 7 nights. It is true that they have so many guys who can score on the Nets at such an elite level, never mind Joe Harris, that when you have, it doesn't get any better defensively on the wings than Kawhi and Paul George. And when those guys are paying attention to KD and James Harden, who's on Kyrie? So they can score with anyone, but they just barely beat a Clippers team. They were lucky Paul George missed an open three at the end of the game, or they maybe don't win that game. They barely beat a team on a long road trip playing their 5th game in 7 nights.
Molly?
Yeah.
May I do a favor? Can I use this opportunity to just make a quick announcement because we're doing stuff on HBCUs? Would you mind at all?
Do whatever you want.
Listen, I'm the HBCU Week brand ambassador, but the real work is done by a lovely lady by the name of Ashley Christopher. She's the HBCU Week Foundation CEO, and she wanted me to make this announcement.
Okay.
HBCU Week Foundation is now offering the Fosse Scholarship. And the Fosse Scholarship, essentially science, technology, engineering, math. They're offering the Fosse Scholarship opportunities to 150 students, $40,000 scholarships to high school seniors nationwide who commit to attend an HBCU and declare a STEM major. That's $10,000 per year for all 4 years for 150 students throughout this nation. So I just wanted to make that announcement on behalf of the HBCU Week Foundation, and I wanted to let everybody know that.
Thank you for doing that. And Stephen A., I want to give you an opportunity. I know I thanked your university, but if there's anything you want to say quickly.
Their family. I've been very fortunate and blessed to have loved ones, with my immediate family, my extended family, some of the brothers that I went to school with. We're still friends to this very day. We speak all the time, Zoom call at least twice a month and stuff like that. But we know what Winston-Salem State University has meant to me, from Coach Clarence Big House Gaines to the former financial director Theodore Heinzman to Marilyn Roseborough, who you saw, to professors like Larry Little and Dr. Sadler and Dr. Brookshaw and so many others. I'm just incredibly thankful for what they've given to me and what they've helped my life become, because without their assistance, their guidance, their support of me throughout these years, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. And so I'm incredibly grateful to the chancellor, to James Du Bois, to various others at the school, to the students themselves representing Ram Nation and WSSU the way it's supposed to be represented. It's a beautiful university. I would encourage anybody that's considering an HBCU to consider them. It is a special place. It's the greatest years that I've ever had in my life, and I'm incredibly thankful for it.
All right. And on that note, Stephen A., again, thank you for everything that you did and everyone for making this happen at Winston-Salem State. But I want to say goodbye with one more special treat. And we have the Winston-Salem State Band right now. They're going to take us home. Have a great day, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.